Hello again, Dr. Sabrina Oliver, Autumn Highsmith's mom. I am her staunch supporter. Okay, and this is part three of me talking about the trials and tribulations of NCCU, North Carolina Central University. Um, the third part of the exam that Autumn took was a multiple choice exam. Remember the name of this exam, which is why I question why a multiple choice is on a comprehensive qualifying written exam, because that's what you said the test was, but you have a multiple choice. I make this point because there are other departments that only call their exam comprehensive exam, and I would expect for a psychology department to know the difference between a written test and a multiple choice test. Okay, nevertheless, so Autumn learned that she failed the exam, and that part of the exam she was expected to take the exam again, such as all students are, and also all students are expected to have a review, right? As part of their policy. They're supposed to be able to have a plan, work this plan with their advisor. Advisor is, just so that we're clear, I'm talking about the thesis advisor. That was not provided. And so then Autumn took the test again, that same multiple choice test. Let me remind everyone for this also. My child has traumatic brain injuries and she has accommodations. And so Autumn did not pass this test, again, the multiple choice test. But I just want to also share that, and I may have it wrong, so I can get the information, but I just don't want to look it up right now, but somebody else will. Just ask. That the first semester when Autumn took the test, or the first time she took the test, I think either 1 or 0 students passed that exam, that same multiple choice. Then the next time, either 1 or 0 students passed. All right? So knowing that Autumn had to take this exam again, her doctor updated the accommodations and says that Autumn needs to see her exam because the school was not doing what they said that their policies were, allowing her the opportunity to make an advisement, a remediation plan with her thesis advisor. Autumn asked, Autumn was ignored. Autumn's advisor asked. Remember, he's not a favorite of theirs. He was ignored. Okay? And so, all right, no problem. Well, it is a problem, actually, but we'll get this updated. She must see what it is so that she can prepare. This is what I'm talking about, unnecessary roadblocks. So, there were other accommodations also. And also, I told you that other students did not pass the test. Autumn finally learned that upon seeing her exam, the multiple choice, she only failed by 3 points the first time. Now, I want to remind you that she never got the review in preparation of the test. And because it was only 3 points, well, the school will say, well, we curved the exam. Well, you've been curving the exam. You curved the exam for everyone, not just my child. You curved the exam even your last exam was curved. You keep curving this exam. Students were not passing this exam. And as an educator, I question the validity of this exam, or I have to question other things as I express, right? So it's a number of different problems. It's not just the exam. And I don't have a problem with the exam not being standardized because it's not. I have a problem with the process not being standardized in terms of You have one person making this exam, one person for the whole department. And based on the number of students failing this exam, it's telling me that either the other professors are not involved and they don't seem to know what's on the exam, or something else. It's a number of things, but it's problematic. So then, um, with everything else, she did not pass the third part. But she shouldn't have had to take the third part, because what happened to those other students? Why do you keep forcing this child to take this exam, knowing that you have not done what you were supposed to do, just even as a professional, even responding to her? So I'm thinking we're going back and forth. I'm telling them this is not what you're supposed to be doing. When I say them, I'm talking to the administrators of the program. I'm talking to they're now in different positions, but I've even gone even to the vice provost at the time. And I said, listen, I think there are a number of different problems with this with this department and with this exam. And I think that there's a problem in terms of communication. She has accommodations that even follows after an exam, and they are not following that. And so I said, hey, you can't do this. This is wrong. What you're doing is problematic. It's setting students up for failure. I learned that Autumn's not the only one. She's not the only one that has had problems with, in terms of being a student with disabilities, with this department, with this, and I can't say it was the same SAS department, because there's also another department, but also it seems like they keep giving this particular advisor students with disabilities. I'm telling you, there's a history there that has nothing to do with my child, and unfortunately, current students, current students are, concerned that if they have this consummate professional of an advisor, that they will be penalized, right? And unfortunately, that has happened. So I tell the vice provost at that time of 2024 that I think that there's also a communication break between the actual SAS office and your professors, because your professors, even though I'm talking to the administrators, they seem to think that they are following her accommodations, and I'm saying that they have not. Even when she took the test the third time, they did not give the accommodations that she was supposed to get even after. They're saying, well, we're not even supposed to allow her to even take the test over again. You know what you're not also supposed to do? Keep curving these exams, or giving students multiple choice questions on what you say is a written exam. You're also not supposed to be given this exam when you have a policy that says that you're going to set students up for success. And then they said, oh, well, we did that. No, you didn't. Okay? And so then what happens? I have the vice provost's office to call over to the SAS Department of Student Accessibility Services, I believe, or supports. And we go over there, we collect all of the documents, the communication between that office and the psychology department. We notice that the psychology department, many of Autumn's professors didn't even open up the accommodations, right? When I said this is systemic problems, right? This is, to me, this is not at the subordinate level. This is at the highest levels, right? And so then the executive director of SAS looks and he says, no, you're right, Dr. Oliver. The professors did not receive Autumn's updated accommodations. We wait for his assistant to come in. He asked her why. Autumn accommodations were not submitted to to the actual other professors, right? Or to any of the professors, rather. And she said, wait, I didn't do it because these are student rights. These are just typical student rights, what the accommodations were. So imagine you are a student with disabilities and you're not getting the support that you're supposed to get from the actual school, the department, the psychology department. Remember, this same school has an education department that could support them, because shouldn't they be able to support them if they are actually being sent out through North Carolina to tell high school and public education teachers how to support their students? But we have a problem in house. So we all go back over to the provost's office. I carry the notes. There's a 45-minute meeting with the associate provost, who's still there. Okay. And this provost calls us in later after they come up with some crazy plan. While we're sitting in the office, we receive a letter stating that, oh, Autumn is going to be kicked out. Autumn's being kicked out. What do you mean she's being kicked out of school? This sounds crazy. You guys are doing all kinds of things wrong. They said, well, we're going to come up with a plan. And by the way, Autumn was expected to graduate the next day. They tell us that Autumn was not graduating. She was not even being considered for graduation. The person that was the assistant director was in that office also. The one who said that Autumn was supposed to receive these services as just typical student rights. I just had enough of her also, okay? Because she's obviously covering herself and her job and her mistake. Unfortunately, the associate provost, instead of doing the right thing, now she says, oh, we're going to come up with we're going to let Autumn take this exam. Yes, I'm sorry. Autumn took the exam again, a fourth time. And so they're saying, no, we're going to let her take it again. But you keep not giving her all of her accommodations. That's my point. So now they say that they want to give her this exam, and now they want to change the exam. So we're only talking about the multiple choice. So now they want to do an oral exam, a written exam. And we have people also here for this graduation. A graduation that they said that my child wouldn't graduate. Did I tell you about the thesis? I think we need a fourth part. I need a fourth part. Wait up for part 4.